We had a good summer, had good participation. I'm very optimistic about our chances for this upcoming season. We don't have a lot of depth, but I feel like the top guys we have, most of our starters, we're probably as talented as we've ever been. So, you know, coming off a 6-4 season, making the playoffs, I feel good that we can improve upon that, but we're going to have to come and play every Friday night just to, you know, to prove all those things.
Well, usually with every team, it always conversation starts at quarterback, and you have one of the best ones in the county, a kid that really I don't think gets the recognition that he deserves, but one of the top quarterbacks last year, leader in passing percentage, high in all the stats. Can you talk about the progress that Rudd has made from last season to where we are currently here in the summer?
Yeah, Rudd he really had a very good off season. I've never been around a player who works as hard as he does, whether it's in the weight room, off the field, in the classroom. He's just a phenomenal young man. But yeah, he had a decent sophomore season, as you said, with being at the top of a lot of the statistical categories. We're looking forward to him really elevating his game even more this year and being a big-time leader for us in the passing game and in the run game. There's different ways we utilize him, and you can already see guys starting to rally around his leadership and just being the quarterback and everybody looking up to the quarterback. He does a good job of making sure everybody else is on the same page and just pushing his teammates to get better.
He does have a number of weapons surrounding him. Talk about your running game and the passing game with Christian and Logan.
Yeah, coming back at running back is Christian Yarborough. He'll be a junior this season. He's up to about 185 pounds, which he's put on about 15 pounds from last year. So that'll help him endure more hits this year. So he'll do a very good job for us in the run game. I think he rushed for just under 800 yards, and he only played in 8 games last year. So we look forward to big things from him. In our passing game, we got Logan Shoemate back, as you mentioned. He's a senior, was tied for the lead in receptions for the county last year. He's had a good off season. He's had a really good summer. He's definitely improved his route running, his catching ability. But not just Logan. We've added a couple more guys. We've got a couple basketball players out that did not play last year in Chandler Rivers and Hakeem Rowe. Grayson Nolan is back as well. Paris Lytle's back at our tight end spot. And we got a transfer from South Carolina named Andy Austin, who's also going to provide some spark on offense for us.
Talk about what's going on the other side of the ball. How's your defense coming along?
We're getting there. Again, we don't have much depth, but I think we're going to have a fast defense. We'll be decent up front. Our 2 defensive ends, Alex Jackson and Demetric Curry, both are about 230 pounds. Just tough, good physical football players. They're not going to wow you with athleticism, but they play with good technique and they get after it. Inside, Carl Bruner will start both ways for us. He's also our starting left tackle. He'll start at defensive tackle, and Damon Turner will start at defensive tackle as well. Linebacker Aaron Stewart will control middle linebacker for us this year. Aaron's not a big guy, but he can run, and he's got a nose for finding the football. At outside linebacker, we'll have Luke Bricken and Ashton Thomas, both sophomores, but both good athletes and guys who don't mind mixing it up. In our secondary, I feel good about our secondary. We've got 3 safeties who we feel like can play if we need to go to a five-man look in the secondary, nickel look, whatever you want to call it, with Andy Austin, Owen Eford, and Hakeem Rowe. Those guys all understand what their assignments are. They have good athleticism, and I feel like those guys can not only play the pass but come up and support and run as well. As far as cornerbacks go, Jonathan Braswell is coming back as a senior. He's a 3rd-year starter. Logan Shoemate will also play some corner, as well as Chandler Rivers. And we actually are waiting to hear back about Austin Baker, who's a sophomore, who will probably start for us, but he might have a torn meniscus, so we're waiting to hear back from that.
What are the expectations that you have for this team coming out of the gate?
Yeah, our expectations are to win the big games, and for us, playing in the private school league, if you win your divisional games, you have a better chance of making the playoffs. So our number one goal is to win the big games. Every division game, I think we play 6 divisional games, and we want to win every single one of those. That'll put us in a great position for seeding for the playoffs. The second one is we want to increase our intensity every day in practice and increase it every week on Friday nights. That was one of our goals that our seniors came up with. And then really our last thing is to never stop improving. It's hard as a coach to get high school kids every day to come to practice and to try to bust their tails and get better and improve. But that's a mantra that this team's really taken on, and so far they've done a good job of it.